Hello, and welcome to another episode of Entre Abuelitas. Por supuesto, yo soy su abuelita favorita, your favorite grandma, and your host, Liliana Montenegro. Thank you so much for joining us. And for all of you who are listening, tell your friends, hurry up, subscribe. I am so very happy to have you all. We will start with our little section of Lily Talk. And what is Lily going to talk about today? My favorite topic. What else? Abuelitas. Do you know what makes an abuelita? An abuelita is that woman that opens up her arms and welcomes you and gives you all the love that you need. It is a woman who will pay attention to your pain, to your joys, who will keep your secrets. But the most important thing about abuelitas is that abuelitas keep their promises. And you know why? Because we have lived all these long years so thankful and so grateful. However, we have learned that life itself will give you broken promises. So we can't do that to our grandchildren, not in any way. And remember that when you're having a bad moment, it's a moment in time. It is not your day or life. And abuelita will always be there to comfort you. Comfort you with open arms, love, hugs, and kisses, or with comfort food. As you well know, abuelitas can make you your little arepas or your lomito saltado, or maybe a taco, maybe even meatloaf. I mean, I love them all, and I know how to make them all. So that's what we are here for. Now, retirement to abuelitas after we've had a full life is not about a rocking chair. We are still sassy and wiser because we have lived, we have been gifted all these many years. Now, we might be a little older, but in no way are we finished. Más años, más ganas. Have someone introduce that for you. The more years you have, the more want you should have for life itself. We are not done, mis amores, by a long shot. But you know how it happens, though, because abuelitas either had a job, a career, or they stayed at home taking care of children and grandchildren. So by the time we get to this age, we have to reinvent ourselves. And what does reinvent mean? Reinvent means we continue. It's not going back to the basics and restarting all over again. No, we've already done many times, and we are where we are, and we deserve to be here as senior citizens, as the elderly, as thriving and amazing women. Because, yes, we are. But there is one big truth, and please listen to this one. Our hands and our bodies, they still want to work. Our minds, they still want to solve problems. And our hearts, well, they don't want to be taken for granted. They want to make sure you know that we matter. So as we reinvent ourselves, you know, men and women work a whole lifetime. It is like you have a big job and you work all day long, then you do all these activities once you have children, and then on the weekends it's barbecues or dates with the family, and then the years go on, then graduations come, and when you least expect it, you are exactly where abuelitas are, because you will be there. So if you have a grandmother, next time you are near her, you are in the same house, the same room, take the time to sit down, ask questions, and talk to her because right now you have the chance and the moment to do so before they become memories. Now, as we reinvent ourselves, we have to remember that we are such valuable commodities. We are amazing women, and we want more. I am turning 70, and let me tell you, my guest is pretty close to that too. She's an amazing woman. She is busy 24, and if there's 48/7, then she'll take it too, because she's busy, reevaluating her life, advancing, getting more knowledge, learning. Because look, if we don't do it, who's going to do it for you? Absolutely no one. So in today's society, abuelitas maybe at times have to reinvent themselves by going back to school or learning more. We're going to find out from our guest, this wonderful mother, grandmother, actress, and of course, a dear friend. Please welcome to Entre Abuelitas, Nancy Sandoval. How are you?
Oh, Liliana, that was a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. I'm wonderful, and thank you for having me.
My pleasure, my joy. I am honored that women are wanting to be on this podcast because you and I know it is important for everyone to know what abuelitas are all about. But before we go any further, tell everyone listening, who is Nancy?
I am a wife, a mother of a 50-year-old son. Do the math. I have been a foster mother along with my husband. He's been a foster father to many children. And my biological son has given us 5 grandchildren, ranging age
Oh,
from 22, almost 10 years old. And they're
oh.
all busy and doing their thing and having, living large, having
Live
great
because
lives.
they have large parents and large grandparents who are there to back them up. But before we go any further, tell us what city you are in.
I'm in San Francisco, but I have to tell you, I have those little bichons, and this one here is
My goodness, has a cone.
almost all the time. They're different personalities, but 15 years old almost. So
Oh
they
my
are,
God.
very sweet little dogs, and
What
we
a
treat,
blessing.
they're our families. Like you have your little
I have my little
doggies.
terrier also.
Mhm.
On the last show, my friend April also had a little 5-year-old Yorkie, Miss Sassy, and so I'm very happy that you brought them along. So, just saying hello.
Attached at the hips over here on this banquet, on this bench.
Oh, Mamita, there is one thing that I was mentioning to you before the show, and it is that I kind of have forgotten on the last 2 shows, Lily's journals. And since show 1, what we did is we have 20 cards,
Mhm.
and each card there's a saying from one of my journals. I just need you to hear it and identify or comment or see if maybe in life you've gone through something like that that made you actually say that. And I don't know why my light keeps coming on or off. No, just don't go away. There
It's
are
all good.
20
You look beautiful.
cards. Mamita, thank you. Pick one. Pick a number between 1 and 20.
I am going to go with 17.
17. One thing I discovered before I started this show is that I have many, many, many notebooks I have written on through the years. So I thought, why not share it? Oh, this one is simple. I love hugs.
You know, Day I was listening to the radio. I listened to Caleb, which is the Christian station, and it
Oh.
says that some people have a hug deficiency. And those that have the hug deficiency have only 4 hugs a day. Those who are complete with their hugs per day get at least 12. But in order to have those hugs be effective, they have to be 20 seconds. And I'm thinking to myself, I do hug people and I do, know that I don't have a hug deficiency, but for 20 seconds, I mean, what are they
That's a
thinking if I
long
hug?
hug. That's a long
Yeah,
hug. Yeah,
yeah.
that's more
And
like a boyfriend girlfriend hug. I mean, come on, a hug
funny
is a hug.
story, my friend, she's very close to me, Alicia. She has 8 grandchildren.
Nice.
And one of them the other day asked her, Grandma, do you have to go to the doctors? And my friend said to her, No, why? Why do you ask? And she goes, Because every time you see me, even if it's just like an hour before, you need to hug me and you need to kiss me. And so she said, Well, I'm going to go to the doctors. So she went to the doctors, and the doctor, just for fun, wrote her a note saying, Yes, your grandma needs hugs. So every time she hugs you, this is good medicine for her.
And
So
that's what
it's
we're saying. Every
yeah.
time, those of us who are fortunate, of course, I no longer have my grandmothers, but I remember I used to love to tickle one of them. My mama
Oh,
Omaida, she was a little lady. Every morning at 7 a.m., she would run to where I was waiting at the door for the school bus. And she would run from the bakery and come around to bring me my chancay, which was a sweet bread that they made in Lima back in the time when I was a little girl. And I would see her just run, and her belly would be just
Oh,
jumping, and she'd be with this big grin. And something that I have never, ever forgotten. Her
yeah.
love, her kindness, her devotion. Did you have abuelitas growing up?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had my grandmother's name was Eufemia, which was a very odd name. And we would go visit her, and she would clear out the living room the furniture up against the walls, and she'd turn the music full blast, and we'd all hug. And she said, "Let's go, coritas, coritas." And I didn't know what coritas was, right? But we would go forward and do a little jig, and then we would turn around, and
What's
all the
corita?
something that she made up, I guess. I don't know. But to us, it was let's dance, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a takeoff from corrale, let's
Oh, los corralitos, the songs, or
go
las,
forward, do a little jig, and turn around and go back and do a
little
little.
rancheritas. Is this from Mexico?
She is from New Mexico.
From New Mexico.
Yeah, yeah. And she was, she's a tiny, you and I are such large, tall ladies, right? I mean,
I'm not. I'm not. I'm only.
so,
I won't say what.
so we come from, very
Yeah.
small grandparents
Yeah.
and parents.
Our
And
lineage is people are short. We are short people. Yes.
so
But
she used to
short
be,
people are good people. Isn't there a song there?
yeah,
There is
yeah,
a
yeah,
song.
yeah. And
But
so, yeah, I have those memories like you sit there, and I have retold them to my grandchildren, and it's, how they receive them. They just kind of look at me like, really?
and
But
that's how
then,
the memories live on. That's how grandmas live on.
yeah. And just this morning, I got up at 7 and I drove my granddaughter. She works at a pet food express. I have to make sure I'm saying the right store for the right granddaughter because they
Okay,
both
Pet
work.
Food Express in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I take it
And
as
then
a pet
her
store.
one works at PetSmart, but to me, they're
Oh,
just yeah, that's how come I have to remember who works at what store.
so you know who to pick up at what time, and we're gonna get to all of that. But I want to ask you about your grandmother. Was there ever any advice that either of your grandmothers gave you that stuck with you for life?
My grandmother used to always say to eat homemade, eat food from home,
Mm.
eat, like cook your food. And so I remember when I was about 13, 14 years old, Burger King opened across a field, right? And
Uh,
she noticed it and she said, "I'm going to treat you guys. I found out that they sell Whoppers," right? I thought to myself, what happened to the
Eat
eat
at
food at
home.
home?
She got tired of cooking. That's what it is.
They knew how to cook. I mean, they would make something from nothing.
Exactly. They would just open the refrigerator, see what was there, pull it all out, and make something for dinner.
And it tasted so good. It
Well, I
tasted.
have to tell you, I am like that because I will not do groceries until I have eaten what I have.
Mm.
Why save it? Why everything is going to go bad? If I buy it and I'm going to use it, I'm going to use it. So sometimes I come up with these menjurjes, these mixes that they taste good because of the seasoning, but I'm like, okay, la comida del pobre, It's like you eat what you have at home. Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. But tell me, you've been married for 37 years. We were talking about that because you got married in
37 years.
August.
Yeah.
So you're in
40
the
years. We've been together for, we courted and that, but then actually we're married for 37 years in August. But, we had a crazy dating in the beginning. First 3 dates, I have to tell you this
tell
another
me,
time,
tell me.
but the first 3 dates, I almost died each time. One time we were on the American River doing river rafting. I fell out of the raft and I saw,
The second,
the second time we went to the Orpheum Theater, which is a huge, like the
I know
Pantages,
the
right?
Orpheum. Yes, absolutely. I've
Yeah.
been there many times.
No,
I
it
used
was
to
the
ditch
Golden
school
Gate
to go
Theater.
there.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, it was one of the big houses, and back in those days, they didn't have these generators that would light up and they had an outage, and I started panic.
Making
Yeah, and then the third time is we went to eat, and I had a waitress drop a tray of drinks on my head.
So
And
this didn't convince you not to marry him, but to marry him
well, I told him, "No more dates." I
until
lived
you
in a
get
condo.
insurance.
Yeah, I told him, "No more dates. We can go out on the side of the house. There's some grassy areas. We can have picnics, right? And I don't have to get in a car with you. I don't have to go anywhere with you. I just have to, like, go out of my front
Wow.
door. We can bring food." But here we are.
Nancy, talk to me about these. First of all, you are your age?
I am going to well, I turned 69 this last November, so I will be 70. I think
69.
in a few months or I don't know, maybe a
You're a
half a
few
year
months younger than me. I'll be
Yes.
70 in March, and
Yes.
it's
It's
amazing.
better.
I am grateful. I am grateful. To me, it's like, wow, all these beautiful things are going to be happening now that I'm 70. Which ones are? I have no idea, but I'm awaiting. I have faith. I have a lot of faith. But you are reinventing yourself at this point. Tell us about what you do in life. You are an actor. What else?
Well, right now I am getting a master's in ministry and a bachelor's in coaching. So besides that, I'm doing my singing and taking I'm trying to take in as much as I can in terms of like getting certificates because those are easy. Those are like 4 weeks and you're certified like as a neuroscience in a neuroscience course and of course you're getting the basics, but you can always build on that. And it exposes you to see if it's something you want to continue to learn about. And if nothing else, it gives you information that helps you,
Make decisions.
yes, and to
Well
help you.
informed.
Yes, and it's great to have in because you are always at our age trying to figure out,
How
and
to
I don't know,
stay alive.
well, also to thrive and to also be, you
Healthy.
can work on your biological turn back, right? By eating right, which you do.
Hmm.
I mean, look
Hmm.
at you, you're absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much.
Working out, meditating, having great social settings. I mean, there's praying. There's so many ways to do a biological reverse, and you just have to write all the ways down and then practice. You can't do everything in one day, but
Nancy, you look
practice.
incredible. You look
Yeah.
very young. Your skin looks beautiful. You do.
Thank
So
you.
you practice everything that you're saying. You eat
I
well.
try. I try, especially, I mean, they say to hold your
How do you
dog
do
close,
that with grandkids?
hold your dog close to your chest for good blood pressure to
Oh,
keep your,
really?
oh yeah.
Where's my dog?
You have to bring him on the show sometime and let him just sit there with you and
Oh, well,
I'll
she
get
is right here. She's just watching me and she
yeah,
knows, no, Mom, I'm just listening. I'll talk to you
yeah.
later. But you've always had pets?
I've had these dogs for 15 and a half years. Prior to that, we had a chocolate lab and we were all in denial because, they shed and the allergies and the
Mm.
symptoms of allergies were not fun.
Are these two siblings?
They are siblings and they're what do they call that they don't have the allergy? They're hypoallergenic dogs. They're
Oh.
hair grows like our hair. So they always have to have their haircuts, right? And they don't
Hmm.
shed. Like I don't have to vacuum all the time and find all their hair. So it's
Yes,
kind of
thank you. I do that every day. Thank you very much. Yes, the reminder. Okay, Mochi, don't move very much, please. Stay there. But how is it? Talk to me about a regular day in your life because you have 5 grandkids, and we were talking about how busy you are with them. It takes a village. It really does. The parents, which you are helping now. You moved from Burbank to San
yes.
Francisco. Why?
Initially, I'm from San Francisco. I went to Burbank. I lived there for acting work because, before COVID, there were no self tape. Well, I guess there were self tapes, but they weren't as popular. And
Hmm.
so that's when I was working a lot when I was in SoCal. And then for family reasons, had to move back up here. And I
Okay.
did in 2019. And then in 2020, COVID hit. and we were all under lockdown, and everything was computer, and so I was able to have it was less busy then. And
Hmm.
then school started the next year, and I was always helping cart somebody to, there are 5 grandchildren, and there was always someone that had to be picked up to take to a enrichment program, either dance or theater or, my
Extracurricular activities.
yeah, the enrichment programs. The small ones are learning Chinese,
Oh,
or
hello.
they call it Mandarin. And then,
Wow.
they were dancing, and I think now that they're older, they're not as involved because they protest, and so they're not having to, they're just not being shuttled there. Now you go in there, right? They say, "No, I don't wanna do that," and don't pay for it. Now they're vocal about it. But yeah,
Hmm.
that was a busy time. The one that is, uh gonna be 15, I taught her how to get on a bus, and she loved it because her friends were on there. And then they got off at the bus stop and they walked. And then she no longer had to have her mother call me to come pick her up and disrupt what I was doing.
Any of them
So,
driving yet? Now they
no,
are. No.
none of them. None of them. The older
How old is
one,
the oldest?
22. She lives
No.
on campus, and she
Okay.
walks 2 blocks to her classes, San Francisco
Right.
State. It's a beautiful
Right.
campus. The other one thinks that because, she's very well paid, she can jump in one of those robot cars. I don't know if you have them in SoCal.
The
The
Waze.
Waymo,
No, the Wave.
the
Yeah, that one. Waze.
Waymos, yeah.
That's the. Oh, yeah, that one. I haven't
She
gotten
jumps
one yet.
Neither have I. So she is,
Mhm.
either jumping on a bus or I pick her up. If it's really late at night, I will hunt her down and find out where she is and go get her because,
So you're
it's,
very involved grandmother.
yeah, I'm involved still. Yeah. It's just not as much as I was before.
Hmm.
It was real, when they're smaller, they're going here, they're going there. And it just seems like there's
Uh,
always a program. There's
ooh, what
always,
happened there? What is
that's my
the
dogs jumped off.
what is it that how is the acting in San Francisco? You're doing self tapes? Are you still acting?
Up here, yes, I am. I'm still doing self-tapes, but I have an agent in SoCal that sends me self-tape media requests. And
Okay.
so I get those done, I send them in, and last year I got quite a few callbacks. This year, I it's only the 10th or so. I haven't had one media request. But I have a San Francisco agent, and she is mostly, I guess,
Print.
her work is industrials, or tech,
Oh, okay.
that type of thing.
Right. Right.
So very, very, very little. How are you doing with that?
Well, last year was pretty slow. There is a tight bunch when it comes to the Latina representation of a grandmother in Hollywood. It's like this group of 10, 15 grandmas. We all go to one place, then we go to the next one, then we go to the next one. And we are all called in and we are all called back, and they still can't decide. But usually the one that keeps it is the one that looks more. And I have to say, what they want is the grandmother they've always known, what the typical grandma looks like. And there's a few of us who were not typical at all, But this year I started with a couple film auditions. I am already starting with the voiceover auditions. I'm hoping. I mean, I just thought I killed this self tape that I just did on Friday. So I'm just waiting to get pinned any minute now.
Hey, yes.
But I keep busy. I keep busy. I'm doing the podcast, which I am so thrilled to talk about an issue. You know, I live in a 55 plus community and there's in this area where I live, there are multiple units all around the neighborhood. And these are
Mhm.
all 55 plus community members. And I tell you, when you talk about parents being dropped off by their kids, the mom or dad, they're really happy. They have a little place of their own, but the children are never to be seen again until the very last day when you see them putting out all the furniture for someone else to take it. So I started looking at all of that and the sadness that some of these people live under, and I just can't stand it. We are not a generation that gets pushed under the rug. We are vibrant. We need more attention. We need more communication. Talk to us. We have so much to share with you. You will be much wiser and much better off if you talk to a grandma on a weekly, monthly, whenever basis. Just
Mm,
do it. Don't you agree?
I totally agree. But I was talking to a girlfriend and I told her because her children and their spouses are less involved with her now. And I told her, you just have to make yourself relevant. There is this
Mm-hmm.
thing where as you age, I feel like I'm becoming invisible sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when I'm out there in public.
Mm-hmm.
And I am always smiling and interacting and trying my best to be personable. But there's just a combination of things that have gone on. I mean, a lot of kids don't know how to put their phones down because they
Mm-hmm.
feel like, they're going to miss something. So they're not able to interact. And then there's this thing about, oh, she's old, she can't relate. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm so grateful for my older grandchildren because they keep me in the loop of what is going on. What is the latest lingo? What is, some of the things I sit there, I say, "Wait, tell me that one more time," because
Well,
I'm
do
like
you
the
ever listen to their music? Their music will tell you a lot about them. I mean, they're so open about the things they say. I learned from my oldest grandson, too. He just turned 18, and I just adore him. As a matter of fact, I am so proud of him. It's just a little side note, but you find yourself in copyrighted issues when you have music on something. So I
Mhm.
asked him, he is actually a musician at 18. And I said, would you
Wow.
create me something? So I have new music for this show. He called it Spice. And it's just beautiful music. So kudos to my grandson, Elijah. You are
Yay.
amazing. Keep beating that rhythm because you are so cool at it. We love our grandchildren. What does their love mean to you?
You know, I am so grateful that I can feel their appreciation, and I
Oh.
also know that the love that they have for me as older grandchildren is different from the love that they had when they were smaller. The love they had when they were smaller was more of a dependent type of thing, whereas they've grown up. They're there. I was talking to one of my grandchildren about a life insurance policy that I put her name on. She says her eyes got like, I'm not gonna have to worry about that for a long time.
Oh.
And she was just trying to get the words out. I said, "Oh, no, no, no. I'm just letting you know we're gonna give you all the information and make sure that you have
That there's
everything."
gifts that we're leaving
Yeah,
behind. I have
yeah.
also made my grandsons. But in regards to what you said about the difference in love, the one thing about grandmas, and that's what you just said is a perfect example of it, is that we give love freely. We don't ask for anything in return. And then we learn patience. And we wait for that day and when they're older and they can talk to us as adults and they really tell us how they feel.
That's
Sometimes
right.
I don't hear it, but I see it. And that to me means absolutely the world. What piece of advice do you give children about grandmas? What do you have to say?
You know what I tell my grandchildren is that everyone gets there. Everyone gets to a certain age, and just enjoy yourself as you're journeying through life because one of my constant sayings is, I just want you to be happy. I just want you to be healthy. I just want you to understand that life is beautiful if you stay happy and if you can keep yourself healthy because your health is so, I mean, as we both know now, right? I mean, we don't
Absolutely.
need anything material. You have a wonderful husband that provides and is very supportive. We are both healthy and active, and we both are, happy to help
Do you have a
others as
single brother? Just asking.
single brother-in-law.
A single brother in law?
We'll have to look for one for you.
Yeah, well, I've been married several times. If you've listened to, I think I said it on show one. I don't even know, but I've been tied down 5 times, and each time ended. And I was just not either their cup of tea or they were mine. But life moves on. You learn from those experiences. You learn from those people that you
Mhm.
loved. And yes, you do love them, but comes a moment when you just have to move on,
Yep.
and that love that we've learned to have is all for our grandkids, because love that is given freely is not wasted at all. And we
Mhm.
know that our children, our grandchildren are appreciating it. I'm glad that you're close to your son.
Yeah, I think to myself, he's been through the war. He's came back and he to a broken marriage or to a wife that was unfaithful. And then
No.
he ended up having three more children from a girl that he went to high school with that was
Oh my
chasing him in high school.
goodness.
And so they have these three beautiful children. One is
Oh.
17, one is going to be 15, and the youngest one is going to almost be 10. He's almost, but four girls and one boy, the last one. And, he's very hands-on father. He loves his children. He does, you know, quite a bit with them, and he is a great provider. And in terms of the advice that I tell him is make some beautiful memories and you'll have those forever. Nobody can take those from you. And a lot of kids don't have a lot of great memories, a lot of beautiful memories, but it's
Well, if
really
they stick
important.
with grandma, they can
Yep,
make some beautiful ones. Remember,
exactly.
grandma was also your age at one point.
Um, I see pictures of her and with those old-fashioned frames and the
Mhm.
old-fashioned hairdos. And I thought to myself, how long does it take for like, I wash and wear my hair. I do, a blow dry and then I just kinda but
But you have
they
not one gray hair.
oh, I do.
Oh,
I
you
do.
do. Oh,
They're
okay.
there.
They're in there
Yeah,
hidden
they're there.
somewhere. Okay, fine.
And, they would do those rolls, and I would wonder how long did it take for them to do that, you know?
Probably all night. They probably slept with them on or prepared for them. I mean, I remember back when, yeah, those were beautiful times. But speaking of time, do you know that we've been for over half an hour just talking?
Yikes.
And this is the beauty of Entre Abuelitas, that we can
Oh,
just chat and get to know each other and talk about our wonderful lives. I am very proud of you for studying, for progressing, for moving forward, for, reevaluating your life and giving it more meaning, because that's all it is. We just want more meaning. We want a little more attention and consideration for those that pass us by. We're not just a hair person. We are someone who's lived a life well lived.
yes.
Your final thoughts when leaving Entre Abuelitas, what do you have to say?
Well, I'm so grateful for I'm honored that you invited me to be on. I am happy to, be um, a grandmother. The alternative is death. So,
We're not talking about that because that's so far from our from
yes,
our
yes. So we will continue to march on in triumphant
uh,
victory as
yeah.
abuelitas, right?
As abuelitas, we have to move forward,
Yes.
and we have to make sure that everyone knows that we're here for them too. We're here to love
Mhm.
the world because we've learned so much. Nancy, muchísimas gracias. Thank you so very much. Please come back another day. Let's talk some more. Tell us more about the things that you're learning. If you actually down the road become a neurosurgeon, please hang out, talk to me. Let's find out what you're doing.
Neuroscience. It's
But you might be,
neuroscience, how
but
the
you might
brain works.
but you might become a neurosurgeon. You never know. We're still young, right? Let's go back to school. Thank you so much, mi amor.
You're
And
welcome.
to all of you, thank you for joining Entre Abuelitas. But before I go, there is a little something that I want to tell you. Don't let
Thank you for having me. Thank
Oh,
you for
you
having
are so welcome. Don't go anywhere. Just give me 1 second to say goodbye to everyone. But thank you, thank you. Look at that little picture with my grandson when he was little. But I just want to
Oh,
tell you one thing, everyone listening. Don't let age or other people's opinions put you on mute. This life is still your show. Live
yes.
it. I am Liliana Montenegro. This is Entre Abuelitas. Have an amazing week. Come back and see us. Please tell your friends. Nancy Sandoval, muchísimas gracias. Hasta la próxima vez. Gracias por acompañarnos. Todo, mi amor. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Bye-bye, Liliana.
Bye, mi amor. Wait for me.